Welcome to small and medium-sized campus scenarios. Today we're going to learn wireless Dot1x authentication. Our test purpose is to verify that Huawei Cloudcampus solution supports the configuration of wireless network access authentication mode to implement wireless network access in Dot1x authentication mode. And our test is applicable to enterprise branches and large and medium-sized enterprises, which have higher requirements on network security and require identity authentication for access. And let's see our test environment. We have an firewall or AR to play a role of DHCP server, and then we have a switch as the downlink, and down the switch we have plenty APs. And now let's take a look at our test steps. First, we create an SSID on the AP, and then we do Dot1x authentication configuration. After this, we create an access user account and create a user authorization policy. And at last, we use both an incorrect account and a correct account to log into the system. And here's the expected result. First, if we used an incorrect account, we will fail the authentication and the users cannot access the network. And if we use the correct account to log in the system, the user can access the network and the associated terminal information can be viewed on the cloud platform monitoring page. And here are some test precautions. First, the built-in radius server and the third-party server are both supported. And when a third-party server is used, user and policies need to be configured on the third-party server. Second, we support built-in users and third-party ADs for user authentication and authorization. And here's our troubleshooting roadmap. First, if the user fails to be authenticated, please check whether the user's name is incorrect or whether the authentication and authorization rule is incorrect. And second, if the NCE controller displays a message indicating that the user authentication is successful but the network access fails, please check whether the user IP address is obtained successfully and whether a correct service address pool is configured, and whether service VLANs are allowed to pass through the uplink. Alright, now we are at iMaster NCE Campus Controller, and we select Site Configuration, select AP. We need to create an SSID here. We can call it Dot1x-1, and we select the personalized VLAN configuration. Click Next. At WLAN security policy, we select Secure Network, and we need to add a radius server here. If you don't have an existing radius server, please remember to create one. So here we select IntRS, which is a built-in radius server, and click OK. And we click Next and click OK. We can click here to check the status of configuration delivery. Now we can see the SSID configuration is deploying. Okay, now the configuration has been delivered successfully. Okay, now our next step is to create a user. We click Create, and we create a user named user1. Enter its password. And we click OK. Now we can see user1 has been created. Then we go to Admission, Authentication, and Authorization. We first need to create an authentication rule. Click Create, and we call it Dot1x auth. In access mode, we select wireless, and in match accounts, we should enable it, and we can select the user called user1 we just created. Click OK. And at authentication protocol, we can enable all those protocols. and we click OK. Then we go to authorization rule. Same as the authentication rule, we can call it Dot1x auth, and we do the same thing. Select the match account, and as for authorization results, we select permit access, then we click OK. And we can also change the priority of our rules. For example, we can change the Dot1x auth to the highest level, and we also set Dot1x also authorization rules to the highest level. Okay, now we have finished our configuration. Now we use our termination to do the Dot1x authentication and authorization. We first enter an incorrect username and password. And we can see this user is unable to join the network. And then we enter the correct username and password we just created on NC Campus. Now we can see the authentication and authorization is successful, and we have got the IP address from the devices. So that's all of today's lecture. We hope you enjoy this lesson, and see you next time.